What's going on, guys? What's going on, Tech Squad? What's going on, everybody? So, can Joe Flacco, can Joe Flacco be a starting court? Can Joe Flacco be a starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns this year? Can the Browns start Joe Flacco? Now, Joe Flacco just signed back with the Browns for the second time in a row. And this kind of reminds me of when LeBron James came back his second time to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I am going to say this. I am going to say this and most forward is that with this being a signing that we know that the Browns, let me get the elephant out of the room. We know that the Browns said at the time for the Deshaun Watson trade, now that it didn't work out, they're saying that it wasn't a good deal to do, because they thought Deshaun Watson was going to be their franchise guy to lead them to a Super Bowl, which Deshaun Watson is a good quarterback. But bringing back Joe Flacco, who started the 2023 offseason and made it to the playoffs. We saw the connection between him and Amari Cooper that year. I think the way that we know that Joe Flacco won comeback player of the year with with um with the Browns. We know that he has a Super Bowl that he won with the Baltimore Ravens, with Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and that crew. But this time around, with him going to the Browns, it's a totally different offense, a totally different defense, a totally different locker room. Will he be the starter, though? That's the question. Like, he's going to have to compete with Kenny Pickett. Now, he's going to have to compete with Kenny Pickett. Like, you can go out and draft a quarterback and, like, Shador Sanders or somebody on the offense side of the ball and Travis Hunter or somebody. You could honestly do that. You could honestly like so you could honestly like you could honestly bring Joe Flacco back, who won comeback player of the year, that has the Super Bowls, that has a Super Bowl. You could honestly, like, we kind of knew once Myles Garrett signed that contract that there was going to be a possibility that Joe Flacco was going to come back. I think this is a good signing for the Browns, most definitely, because like a lot of Browns fans are going to miss a lot of Browns fans are going to miss Jameis Winston. Because if we had like Deshaun Watson, who's going to come back 100% better in my opinion, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and sign back Jameis Winston, that's a good quarterback room. But the quarterback room that we have in Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett now, that's still a decent quarterback room. And bringing Joe Flacco back, it brings a lot of sense to it because we know what Joe Flacco can bring. to the Browns. We seen him put the Browns in the playoffs that year in 2023. It's still surprising looking back at it that now we got him back 2 years later. We could have kept him um, in the 23 offseason and started him last season if we had him. But Jameis did a good job as the quarterback. DTR did a good job as the quarterback. I think the quarterback locker room that the Browns have right now does look decent. When you look at the quarterback locker rooms around the league, you at least have 2 or 3 decent backup quarterbacks in case your starter quarterback gets hurt. And I think with that being a current thing, I think Joe Flacco, this signing is a good signing, and it lets Browns fans know that everything will be good because we got Joe Flacco for 1 year. And I'm going to say this. I think Joe Flacco will probably start. We'll probably get a start. We'll probably start. We seen how he did with the Colts. Like his decision, either going to the Pittsburgh Steelers or coming back to the Browns, has been probably a tough decision for him. But guys, sub if you're new and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there. And stay blessed, everybody. And peace.